Hello information security professionals and fellow YouTubers. Today I will be discussing Google. Particularly I'm interested in showing you ways that you can maximize Google as an open source information tool. As you can see, I've decided to call it that Google Voodoo you too can do, because a lot of people, when you tell them you just Googled something, even experienced professionals, they don't know how you did it necessarily. And even experienced professionals don't necessarily know about the site operators we're going to talk about. As always, if you're wondering how do you hire an open source intelligence stud, well, that's easy. I have my contact information right there. And as always, we have an official definition of what open source intelligence is. I always like to say whatever you can get immediately without having to pay for or get a warrant. So, Google is the ultimate reconnaissance tool of today because of three reasons. It's available to everybody, free of cost, and as I'm about to show you, it is far more versatile than a lot of people think. Google has built-in search operators, and I like to think of these search operators as analogous to Microsoft and Mac hotkeys or keyboard shortcuts. It is a way for you to get your job done quicker and more precisely. We're going to be talking about three operators here. Now, Google has many search operators. In fact, there's a whole book on it I'm going to recommend for you at the end of this. But the three operators we're going to discuss are the site operator, the file type operator, and what could be one of the most damaging in terms of a penetration tester is the inurl operator. So the first search operator up is going to be the site operator. As you can see here, I'm going to use the site emish.edu just because, that's my alma mater and it'll stand as a good example. So what the site operator is going to do is it's going to give us every site associated with this here domain. Now you might be asking, how is this a good tool? Can't I just type in emish.edu and navigate from there? Yes, but that's not actually the point. The point is to see what does a website have out there exactly. And you would be surprised. Some sites might put up something that was necessary for them to put up a long time ago. Now they don't need it anymore. They shouldn't have it. And it's still up there and it's a security risk. It's always nice to approach your network's forward-facing information with a fresh set of eyes as though you're somebody from the outside looking in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the file type search operator. So the file type search operator essentially pulls all of a specified file type associated with a domain. So we have all those websites, but we're not interested in them. We're interested only with documents. I have here a list of these supported document extensions, but the truth be told, file type extensions, but the truth of the matter told is this list is not extensive. There are hundreds of file types that can be used, and I've included here a link. I'm going to also include that link in the description as well. So as you can see, we're using the site operator emish.edu, and we're using the operator file type PDF. Why use PDF? Well, PDF is actually just a favorite of many entities for putting stuff online. And look at that. We get 16,900 PDFs. Not necessarily actually that much given how huge Eastern Michigan University is and how much actual sites are associated with it. Now let's see how we can use these operators as a reconnaissance tool. So let's say we're looking at a big corporation. Well, if you're trying to do some research on a massive corporation and they're headquartered in your state, you might want to try pooling any contracts they might have with the state. After all, it's not unreasonable to think that a multinational corporation that's headquartered in Washington or Michigan is going to have contracts itself with Washington or Michigan. So we got site, michigan.gov, we got file type PDF, and we're going to use the normal search features of just passing search words into Google, and we're going to look for Barton Mallow. Okay, so 371 PDFs. Most of these are going to be bids, Some of them are going to be the actual contracts themselves, so you can see exactly what was paid or charged on behalf of the state to Barton Malow. This is pretty interesting stuff. Another one that I'm going to do, and I've never done this one before, is we're going to do the Ford Motor Company. Give me a second. So exactly the same search operators, just different words, Ford Motor Company. And we see much more documentation, 1,330 results. Here again, that shouldn't surprise anybody. Ford Motor Company, huge multinational firm, which Barton Malow really isn't. It's multi-state, but I wouldn't actually say it's multinational. Ford Motor Company, on the other hand, is multinational. The last operator that we're going to talk about is perhaps maybe the most important and the one that hackers could do the most damage with. I have it inurl. As I said before, every company that takes information security seriously needs to do these sweeps on themselves. And you can find out information that no company should have publicly available by doing the inurl operator. And I just include some of the most damaging ones: index of, backups, passwords, admin, or root. Now, for some of you who think, well, who would actually have these online? You can try some of these yourself. You will never not get returns using these. It's spooky how much people have out there and they don't even realize. We're actually going to do a very fun search involving the CIA website, and we're going to use the operator citecia.gov, inurl secret, and filetype PDF. Spoiler alert, we're not doing anything spying here, but you can actually find some very interesting declassified stuff, such as old intelligence craft manuals. And, I'm sure the CIA has a good sense of humor. That's why I included this bird here. So as you can see, we have that put into our address bar, and we're going to go search for it, and we get 25 results. These are interesting things. Sometimes you can actually get former World War II documentation, seeing writing document 4, secret teachings of all ages index, secret writing document 3. So as you can see, definitely some very interesting declassified stuff, intelligence and public media. In closing, Google is actually much more powerful than most people realize. And I have here this book, Google Hacking for Penetration Testers, Volume 2. For those of you who see here, it is by Johnny Long. Johnny Long is an information security professional and practitioner. He's been around for a very long time. He specializes in Google hacking, and he also has a site, I Hack Stuff. He's a very prominent member in the information security community. I strongly urge you to reference this book, and I also urge you to go online and listen to some of his talks. Very interesting, very informative.